matter.
You're fine.
After a year and a
We're all
half, I'm going to
fine.
vote never, and it's fine.
We're live.
After a year and a half.
You're live?
I'm gonna vote never.
Oh,
Hi, everyone.
Hey, look at all these lovely people. Look at this.
I could open YouTube.
Susie,
In
Katrina,
theory,
Melody,
in
Kelly,
theory.
Dean, Crystal, Laura,
Here's what I'm
Riven,
gonna do.
Leslie,
I'm gonna go try
Andrea,
to post
hey.
the link in the chat.
Hey, Brian. Wendy, Janie.
I'm-
Hi.
We know what we're doing.
Nah, we do not.
We totally do, and everything's fine.
Well, every
don't have
time
the
we get
agenda in
like
front of
half
me
of
yet.
it right, it's just a different half every time.
True. That's true.
That's fair.
That's true. That's
All right.
true.
Sean's having to run ahead and open the door for me so I can run inside and pee. Hold on.
Oh, that's fine.
Just in case everyone needed to know.
Just in case anybody needs to know that, I'm just getting home from the game.
Listen, if all of us needed to know that Taehyung went to the bathroom during a live the other
That's
day,
exactly
then
right. And JK
That
we
is
need to know that
true.
you're going to the bathroom.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sorry.
I bet Jungkook just loves the fact that he can still make Taehyung so mad that he'll call him and text him to bitch him out. I love that.
Yeah. Andrea, no, Patricia unfortunately will not be joining us tonight, guys. She is not feeling well today. So we are sans Patricia.
Yep.
You just get the 5 of us chuckle fucks.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Every combo is a winning combo around here.
I mean, it is a different feel. It's a different feel.
Okay, she did mute herself. I was gonna mute her for us if she hadn't.
Oh,
Everything's coming up Millhouse around here, friends.
Yeah, don't
Mhm.
watch. There's a don't watch just in case we needed it.
I know. Pobre Patricia.
Don't worry, Steph. We have your
Pobrecita.
back. I would have yeeted you from the call if you'd forgotten to mute.
Cat, will you move?
She's laughing.
Cat.
Anyway,
Pretty sure we would have gotten yeeted from you two. What kind of content are they trying to put?
well, I'm gonna get. Well, should we start?
Yeah,
Steph,
hey.
welcome.
No, she'll be back in a minute, in a second.
Yeah, it's 5:07. How's
Oh,
everybody
Hi,
doing?
VM Koya. I'm so sorry this is your first live, but we're glad that you're here.
Hey.
So,
You know what? It's better to get a realistic.
Yeah, you know
Yeah.
what?
This
It's
is who we
better.
are, and
This
we
is-
don't make. I'm throwing
Yeah.
shit on the floor.
Yep. I
Yeah.
will
Sorry
start
for
the
the
intro.
sorry
because-
for the loudness.
Listen, our entire project was predicated on the fact that we were going to have no new content and that this was all going to go a certain way. So that's how we started the project. So,
In
you
other
know.
words, just the clown makeup. Just,
yeah,
that's
we
us.
we had clown makeup and a dream. That's what we started with.
Literally.
And now we just are very good at putting more elaborate clown makeup.
Yeah.
Listen,
It's
this
getting more
entire
elaborate.
project was based on 6 people making some pretty serious assumptions.
All right. Well, Steph finds where her stuff since we have at least one new person here. Hi, we are Army Project 529. There are normally 6 of us, but someone is sick today. Patricia, our dear friend Patricia. So we are a BTS Army community for grown-ups, basically. We dive into their content. We have a blog where we do that. We have a very active Discord community with around 3,000 people. We are on every platform. We do YouTube and TikTok lives twice a week. We have merch. We have guides for concerts, and I mean, we name it. You name it, we try to do it. We have meetups in person. We have meetups online. We have events pretty much every day of the week. We are busy, and we're happy to have new people.
Yes.
So that's us. I will just do a quick introduction. So Steph was the one whose fault it is.
Facts.
Steph one day was talking to her chickens, and we all found her through that. And one point she was like, "Hey, I might be bored when BTS all gets enlisted, so we should make like a book club." And we were like, "Yeah, I'll help with that. Like maybe make a spreadsheet or 2 or whatever. Yeah, I'm down to help with
That's
that."
great. Yeah.
Great. And that's the way we became the Brady Bunch. So that's Steph.
Ooh, another new person.
Oh, another new person. Hi, Jay.
Oh, hi.
Steph in the blue shirt is in the Oklahoma City area. Let's see. Next.
Thunder up. We just won game 7.
She
Oh,
just
you
came from the
did.
game.
Congrats. That's fun.
Idiot.
Yay, sports ball.
Yay, sports ball. Patricia, who's not here, is in the New York City area. Let's see. Next is Christina is in Arizona. Quince is in the DC area. Doc is in Missouri. And I am in Atlanta. I am Katie.
We're everywhere.
We're everywhere. Because people ask us all the time, do you guys all live in the same place? No, we do not.
No.
Oh my God.
Scale.
First of all, I would get
Mini-
nothing done ever
No.
because we'd just be hanging out and shooting the shit and talking about Bangtan, and
We
it
would
would
never
be
get anything done.
we
For
would
real,
nothing.
though.
Mountains of laundry. My children wouldn't know their mother. Yeah, it would be.
It'd be problematic.
It would be
Yeah.
problematic. No, we're truly sad we don't live closer to each other. We have
Listen,
met
I
in
already-
person, all of us, at least once. Several of everybody else has met once, or a few more times.
Significant others would begin to question things.
Listen,
Yeah,
I
it has to be like,
already
do they just
spend
live here
Oh, you're in
now?
Arizona too.
I already spent an inordinate amount of time with you bitches just online,
Yeah.
in the Discord and stuff. Like it would be unreal if
It would
we
be
were
unreal.
close enough to hang out.
Yeah, sorry,
Yeah, yeah.
Stephanie. I took your welcome so that you could find your stuff.
No, that's great. I was peeing. You're good.
That's
Okay.
fine. Yeah, so that's who we are. We come live twice a week. This live, we will dive into some more discussion. Wednesday live is usually more about news of the week, and yeah, come hang out. I'm gonna pass it on over to Quince to talk about the blog, which is the original thing we started doing.
Yes. So Army Project 529 is all about content and community. That's what we found. That's our niche that we found. And we're going to stay there. So the original idea, the little book club idea, turned into a blog, a weekly blog where we've been chronicling BTS's discography in chronological order since January 1st of last year. We're almost done with this original project. It's supposed to go up to Festa this year, and we're almost there. So we are in week 70 of the blog. 70. And we wrapped up
Wow.
BTS's content last year, and we moved on to chapter 2 content, which was solo era. So every member got a month. We always go in fan chant order. So we've gone through all the members, and now we are at our magne. So this is Jungkook's month, and it is JK.
JK.
I can't say it without being like extra about it.
know.
JK.
I know.
No, it's meant to be extra.
I just hear, I hear Hobie in my head
Mhm.
every time. And so this is week 2 of JK. And it is called I Want to Stay in Your Sky. And I do the thing, I write the blog. And Doc, who is above me on my screen at least, she does all the research. Well, she heads up the research team, and she puts together all of the content that goes into the blog every week. And then we work on it, and we move things around, and we do a little magic, and we make the things happen. And we have a wonderful team of volunteers who originally curated all of the content. We had a big pool of content to pull from. And we had a massive team of people who went in and watched things and were like, yeah, this, no, not this. Yeah, this, no, not this. And then Doc pulled all of the yeses together and put it together in a way that made sense. And then I write about it, and it goes up on the website. So that's what I do. So we're in week 70, week 2 of JK. We had our watch party the other night. And when I tell you that it went all the way up until our watch party, the release party for Jin's Echo, I mean, it went all the way up.
Yeah.
Like literally, I ended that watch party like 5 minutes before our release party started.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because there was so much content that everyone wanted to watch from the blog. So it was a great time. And Steph, do you want to take Patricia's, you want to talk about the map?
Sure. It's one of my favorite things. Okay, so Patricia
She
created.
talked about the community.
Yeah. Patricia created early on. I don't know how far we were into the project when that happened,
It
but
was very early.
So the concept was birthed before she went on her pre-project launch vacation. And then when she got it back, when she got back, she created it. So it would have been in the first, inside of the first month of the
The first
project,
month.
I think is when it launched.
okay.
Yeah.
So basically, the Moss City map allows you to go in, if you're not on there already, and you put your basic location, not exactly, but the city that you're in, and then you include your social media account where people can find you. And then when you open it up, you get a little army bomb on a map, and we are now covering the globe. And people are meeting, they're making friends. It's amazing. And I wish I knew how many people have met someone because look at that, because of the map.
Yeah, that's our map.
It's amazing.
You all look at it. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's absolutely amazing. And you can
These are
zoom in.
army across the world that are part of the project.
Yep.
Look at how cool that is.
Amazing. So now we're like, not only can you find friends in your area, but now like if you're going to travel somewhere, you can find Army where you're going and make connections.
Susie made a map friend.
Oh, that's awesome. That's amazing.
That's amazing. Yep. So that's our map. So if you're not on it currently, go put yourself on there now and make some new friends and find people to go see the J-Hope movie with. Concert movie with, and or meet up in Dallas or Tampa or wherever you're going to see Jen in concert if you're getting to go, and just meet new Army friends.
Discord too.
Enjoy the Discord.
Hi, Jane.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh wait,
So
what else am I
those
supposed to talk about? Okay, hold on. Info map.
The meetup.
Oh, meetup.
Oh,
Okay, coming up the last weekend of July. So really, literally days after Jen's concert in Dallas is our Moss City meetup or our Kansas City meetup, where we're all meeting in the middle of the country and we're going to hang out and have the time of our life for 3 days. We're going to watch concerts and have costume parties and play games and do karaoke and God knows what else. We don't know. We haven't planned it all yet, but we would love for you to join us. And if you aren't already planning that. And one of the fun things we're doing for those of you that are going to be in Dallas seeing Jen is we are going to, as Doc loves to call it, carriage in. We're going to carriage in from Dallas to Kansas City on Thursday. We're going to make quite the trek, and we are in the middle of planning that. And you're welcome to join us if you're coming to Kansas City for the meetup. And it's all kinds of fun. So you go to armyproject529.com/what links. Is that the best way, Katie?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
For more information.
Yes, Susie. We'll be repeating the auction.
Yes.
We are.
Auction.
We have decided to call it an auction.
Yeah. And not to tease anybody with a little bit of FOMO, but I'm going to go ahead and do that because Bangtan will be back and more than likely touring as OT7. This is probably going to be the last Kansas City meetup that we're going to do for quite some time because we're all going to have to be saving up some monies for the OT7 concerts. And so this is really the last one we're planning for the foreseeable future. So now would be the time. If you were on the fence about whether or not you wanted to go, now would be the time.
Ribbon's trying to get rid of us. Ribbon's trying to get rid of us.
What we're not going to do
want to
is
take us home. I don't think we'd get very much. We'd probably have to give money ourselves to have somebody take us.
Riven, my bosses would be really freaking mad if I took more than the week off that I'm already taking off for that night.
I mean, literally, I could probably go anywhere. You just have to house and feed me.
There you go. So you could auction yourself off.
Awesome.
We'll see how the night goes.
Yeah.
Never know.
No, I know. Laura says save up money. How? I know. Really good point. Because because we're in a Bangtan chokehold. We all are right now.
We are.
So
So you're going to want to join us for the shenanigans. And there are a lot of shenanigans. Listen, I spent a good chunk of today coordinating various shenanigan teams for the free time.
Yes, you did.
For the free time during the weekend, the week of the Kansas City meetup. So I have so many group chats going right now. It's not even funny. It's
I'm
fine.
just getting pictures of Hawaiian shirts from Doc.
Yeah.
Random.
I think at least 4 group chats started off with, okay, hear me out.
Okay, hear me out.
An image.
I just got a link of choreography saying, "Are you willing to do this?"
That'll be a no from me, dog.
Yeah, the
but
answer
you
is
guys,
no.
I will definitely videotape
No.
you. I'm behind you 100%, way behind you in the back of the room, 100%. with the zoom lens, ready to record it.
I see a line dance in our future.
I would
Oh,
actually do a line
boy.
dance.
Let's
Line
not
dance,
be-
line dance is the only one I
Let's
would
be
do.
real.
I would do a line dance. I told Sean today on the way to the game, I was like, okay, so now Jen is officially the only person whose choreography I'd be able to do. Super
Correct.
tune-up, and then some kind of line dance for flash whatever.
Rope it.
For,
Rope it.
I saw a TikTok where a lovely person was doing a rope it line
Yes,
dance already.
yes.
So
Mhm.
that was awesome.
One has already been created, and it looked
Yeah.
pretty easy. I will not lie.
looked
It also looked pretty
adorable.
good. It looked
Yeah.
doable.
Although it does
Give me a
involve being
soju.
on one foot at
yeah,
some
give me
point.
some soju. I'll be able to do it. It'll be fine. It'll
Yeah,
be fine.
Doc, I am there for what I told Doc was that I cannot promise that I'll have enough time to practice and memorize the choreography for what she showed me. So I was out, but line dance I think I could do.
Yeah.
Two things before we move. There is no official BTS line dancing to answer that
No.
question thus far.
No, there
Jin has
isn't.
just
Not so
released
far.
a song that is pretty country in nature, and so there's lots of talk of line dancing, but nothing official. And then Andrea, yes, Army Bombs are back in stock on Weverse. However, please pay attention to those ship dates because upon closer inspection, it looks like they are not shipping until literally in the middle of the concert dates. So there's no guarantee that you would get your Army Bomb in time for your date to go and see Jin. So please make sure you're taking a look at that before you order if you want it for Jin.
Yes,
Yeah,
our
what
advice
we
for Jin
Yeah.
is still that you buy it at the venue.
Yes.
Yes.
So Doc, sorry, you're up next. We kind of
All
went
right. We
tangent.
skipped a little bit. It's fine. It's fine. So for those of you who are new to us, we go live twice a week as a project. It's usually 6 of us, sometimes less, depending. On Wednesdays, we are live on TikTok for our midweek tea, where we talk about member news and shenanigans that took place out on Kim Namjoon's internet for the week. And on Sunday, here on YouTube, is our Sunday deep dive. So on Sundays, we take a deep dive either into a topic associated with the blog, because as we've talked about, we write a blog every week, or a topic that's kind of important to what's going on inside of the Army community or the K-pop community as a whole. And so tonight we're going to talk about Echo, because that just came out and we can't not talk about Echo because that's pertinent news.
Fantastic.
And we're also going to talk about toxicity inside of the K-pop community. So you're going to want to stick around for that.
You are really going to want to stick around for that.
Yeah, it's
We are going end to end though, because like Echo is such a happy experience, and then we're going to talk about toxicity. That's interesting.
I think we could bring it to a positive resolution.
Oh,
We all-
for sure. For
we're
sure.
gonna put our spin on it. You know.
Yeah. Jane, oh boy. I love it. I hope that's a vote of confidence for us.
Yes. So speaking of the Army Bombs and buying, whether you should buy them at the concert or not, we have some reminders about concerts that we've been doing every Sunday. So we're going to go through those really quickly too. So of course, whatever might be left, tickets are still on sale for #RunSukjin_app.tour.
Long as that.
Love you.
best
Love you.
title ever.
Best title ever.
Thank you, Kim
A
Suk-jin.
mouthful.
Thank you, Kim Suk-jin. Couldn't have just been Jin on stage. Like, nope.
Good stuff.
So tickets are still available in some cities. Check Ticketmaster. I haven't looked in a while, so I'm not sure. But as we saw with Hobie, new seats opened up down the line, and there were still tickets available, even like right up until the day of in some cases. So keep checking. Resellers are still reselling, so you know you can. I'm sure tickets can still be had out there. And we talked about the Army Bomb already.
Mhm.
So Katie and Christina, do you guys want to talk about signs and or merch?
Yeah, sure. We're still working. I've got a design, 75% done?
Yes.
Like pretty close. A new Jin design based on an idea of Quince's, a fever dream she had.
I did.
Christina's been working on a new pattern. we've got some stuff that's happening, and we are planning on offering the vinyl signs again. It's the same, similar to what we did for J-Hope. So stay tuned. The vinyl signs, those are the ones, they do take a little bit longer than the rest of our merch. So I would say if you think you want to get one, order it sooner rather than later. We will cut those off when we know that they can't get to you in time for the concert anymore. Yep.
Oh yeah, thank you, Gretel. She mentioned our Discord marketplace. Totally forgot about that. We do have a place in our Discord server, a ticket marketplace for people who have tickets that they can't use and want to resell directly to other Army as opposed to going through like a resale site or something like that. So you can come into our Discord server and check the marketplace and see if you can find a ticket through there as well.
Yeah.
Yep. And we do have also was quietly rolled out. We do need to do a better job of linking it. We do have a guide page for the tour, just like we did for J-Hope's tour. It has information about the venue bag policies, a concert bag checklist. What else? We're going to get the fan chant up there now that they've released it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we have the
new guide.
The new guide up yet?
That's what I was going to say. That's what I was about to say. We also have, thanks to Charisse, who I think is here. She was here a little while ago.
Yeah.
Thanks to Charisse, she wrote us a disability access guide for concert ticketing. It's
Cool.
a question we get a lot about, I need disabled or I need accessible seating. How do I get tickets? And she has a lot of experience with this, so she wrote us a guide. It is up on the website now. If you go to ap529.com, there's a section that says guides in the menu, and it's right in there. So thank you very much, Charisse, for helping us with
Yes,
that.
thank you, Cherise.
Put together.
Yeah.
She did a great job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Possibly a little late for this tour, but hopefully useful for the next one.
Yeah.
Super important.
Yeah. It could still be helpful for this one too, because those tickets don't tend to sell as fast. So people who are currently sitting here thinking, I don't know if I can go, if you take a look at this guide, it can give you steps on how to figure out if you can actually go and how to go about doing so. So
Yeah. And also, I'd also like to point out too that the more people that call and make noise about accommodations at these venues, the more you will get on their radar.
yeah.
And so it's always good to just, even if you think something, call the venue, contact them, email them, because like I said, the more attention you give this, the more likely they are to get their shit together for their own
Yes.
place. Because the experience I had taking my mom for August D, it was not good. It was really not good. And I regret not calling and figuring out more stuff before we went.
Yeah. Didn't you guys have to wait
So-
forever for a wheelchair?
Oh, yeah. It was forever. It was like no one had ever asked them before for a wheelchair ever at a concert. It's like, wow. So it was really, and like just getting to the Uber after the concert and just all kinds of stuff. So
Laura,
anyways, I really appreciate that.
Laura in the comments had a question about size restrictions on signs. Every venue has their own policies. However, we did do signs for J-Hope. Our signs are 12 by 18. We did not hear of anyone being turned away for that size. I think what they generally object to is the big ones that are blocking people's view.
Yeah. Ours was like,
Yay big, and you don't hold it up the whole time. You just hold it
Yeah.
up.
And it folds up really easily for your
Yes.
bag. So
Yeah,
you
it rolls up to
Yeah.
fit in your bag. So
Yeah.
it's right back there.
Yeah, we saw.
Yeah.
I saw some of the venues had a size limit that was slightly smaller than our sign, but to our knowledge, nobody was turned away.
Yeah. So what I've seen so far from lots of Army time monitoring as well is it appears as long as your sign can fold up into your bag, none of the venues seem to care on actual size. If it's something that can small enough to fold up into your bag, they seem to be letting those in just fine.
Yeah, and if you're bringing like a gigantic banner and blocking a bunch of people, somebody might ask you to take
Yeah.
it down, but
Yeah.
ours are not that big.
Yeah.
and
Right.
last but not least, as Stephanie mentioned a little while ago,
Oh, sorry.
we have and you can come into our Discord server and we have a whole section for Jen's tour, including individual channels for each of the tour stops. So if you are going to a particular city for the tour, you can come and you can find and talk to other people who are going to the same location. So you can possibly find concert buddies, travel buddies in our Discord server. And we also have tried to, because one of the stops, Tampa, is taking place right in the middle of our Moss City meetup. We've tried to find a way for people who were already booked with us, who still wanted to come to the meetup, but still be able to see Jen, to have a way to do both. And so that's how this Carajin came to be, for people who are attending Dallas, because that's close enough to Kansas City to do a little road trip. So a lot of our project members are attending in Dallas, and they will be caravanning up to the meetup afterwards. And then some of the rest of us are then leaving the meetup and then going to see Jen in Newark.
And a bunch of them are flying together.
Yes, a bunch of us are flying, and we're a bunch of project members are also meeting up to go see Jen in New Jersey. So there are places in our Discord where you can talk about that and coordinate if you want to be part of either group. There's no Carajin for New Jersey.
That'd be a drive.
There's like
that would be quite a drive.
there's airplane part gin.
Airplane part Jen. There we go. But anyway, come to the Discord. You can coordinate if you're going to the concert by yourself and you want some people to meet up with. Come to the Discord and join in with us.
Yes,
For sure.
Yes.
All right. Speaking
does
of,
it seem like, can I just ask,
Yeah.
is this my imagination? But does it seem like Jen's concert is coming so much faster than like between Hobie's announcement and Hobie's concert? Or am I just like dreaming like this?
No,
Everything feels like it's rushing towards us.
It really does.
It feels
just
like it's compressing. Yeah, because
Right?
all of a sudden I'm looking at our countdowns and I'm like, they will be back in 3 weeks.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I think part of it, I think there's a couple fold. Part of it is, as much as we jokingly tried to deny it, we all knew J-Hope's tour was a probability
Right.
more so than a possibility. And so there was an element of kind of anticipation for multiple months before it was announced. And then, there was that announcement, and it was really the only thing going on.
Right.
But now Jin's tour was a blindside. Even he himself says it was just on a whim.
Yeah.
He was like, "What?
Yeah.
Just do a tour."
Which we speculated about that. We were like, this feels.
Yeah. But he's like, here
It
we
feels
go.
very,
Yeah,
very,
really rushed.
really, very rushed. But it's not the only thing happening, because we
Right.
have we have J-Hope's tour is still going on. We have J-Hope the final. We have J-Hope's going to be in Germany. And so like there's all of these other things.
Not to
and
mention,
the homecoming
we're planning
members.
Kansas City. Doc had surgery. I had a baby. Like,
Yeah.
There's so much stuff.
That's true.
Yeah.
We had so
Yeah.
much going on.
It's starting to be like, oh, okay.
And then Festa, just people were buying plane tickets for Festa to be in Seoul for Festa
Just in case. Yeah.
Can
like a
can
year and a
inter-
half ago, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I
Oh.
interject something really quickly that I found out today? So I'm a nerd. Everybody, if you guys didn't know that about me, I'm a giant nerd. And I play D&D. I play Dungeons and Dragons. And today my D&D group was meeting up for a game. And my DM just told us, so we were trying to plan our next sessions, and June's looking real sketchy. Everybody's got stuff going on. And so IDM and his wife, they're going to be going to Japan and Korea soon. And I was like, so when are you going to be in Korea? And he pulls out his calendar and he's like,
June 13th.
he goes, okay, June 2nd through the 18th. And I went,
Oh. Ugh.
I was like, okay, so let me just warn you
Yeah.
that while you're there,
There's going to be a scotch of activity, just a tiny little
There's
teeny
gonna
bit
be
of
And purple
activity.
everywhere. Purple,
Just
purple,
a lot
purple,
of purple
Yeah.
everywhere,
Like-
and it's gonna be because you see BTS and they're really big there.
Sort of a big deal.
They're coming back from the military, and it's their 12th anniversary, so you're gonna see a lot of that. And he went, "Oh,
They're like, you think I talk a lot about
Yeah, I was gonna
BTS?
say, you think
Just
I'm bad?
you
Wait.
and apparently the World's Fair is going to be there too.
Oh,
So-
Jeez.
There's just
Ooh.
because they're going to Korea for the World's Fair. They did not know that Festa was a thing that was. I mean, they know
Wow.
that I do this. They know that I do this BTS thing, but like they don't know he doesn't know anything about BTS.
I
So they
want
just
them
know-
to take a picture or a 1-second video every time they come across something BTS and just look
I
increasingly
really-
disgusted about it.
I really am going to be like, I just need you guys to document whenever you see something.
Be like, ugh, again, why?
Send me a video. Anytime you see Bangtan, just send me a video.
Well, and tell
Yep.
They're
them
on
that
the
in the middle
coffee.
of all the Bangtan stuff, that's when they need to go to all the normal tourist places because they will be empty of anybody
Empty.
else.
That's true.
that's true.
Except the
Exactly.
World Fair goers.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, continue on, Katie.
All
Sorry.
right. Speaking of being poor, so we have money to go to Korea. Just kidding.
I mean, really.
No, I like this. I like this one. Somebody wrote, "Help us build the commune." So help us build the dream. It's not a physical commune yet, but it's a digital commune.
Only because Sean hasn't agreed yet. We're still working on it.
Just one baby goat at a time.
Hold up.
Yeah, help us build the digital commune for our army, for Grown Up Army, because it is hard for us to find a home, and that's why what we tried to create here was a home for Army to not feel weird, because so many of us said we felt really weird and we had no one to talk to.
Yeah.
So help us build that. Help us support the blog and the lives and the map and the merch and the Discord and the guides and the meetups and all the stuff that we do. If you're in a position to support that financially, 2 ways you can do that. You can subscribe to our Patreon. You have probably seen other creators do this. It's just a way that you can subscribe and send a small amount of money to us each month. $3, $5, or $10 a month are the options. And each of those tiers comes with some different benefits. Like the highest one has a private channel with us in Discord. The top 2 have a discount on our merch. They all now have special name colors in Discord. You get a special like gradient colored name as of yesterday.
Yeah.
You know, we gotta
Katie
keep
been
things fresh.
playing.
I was
And we
Been
plan to
cool
do more
settings.
with that group too once we're kind of done the first 75 weeks and we
Yes.
have more time.
yes, we do have big plans for that group to help keep you guys feel like you're getting your money's worth. So yeah, that's
And
cool.
am I allowed to add too that for Kansas City, we're going to have probably a special like happy hour with the VIP people as well.
Our VIP
We
is the
are.
$10 a month tier. That's the top tier. Yeah,
Nice.
we are planning some kind of a happy hour with admin and the Violet VIPs. Yeah, and we were maybe thinking about outfits for it, but everybody doesn't know that yet.
Hmm.
I didn't
Okay,
even know that. I don't think.
The 3 most enabling admins were thinking about outfits.
Lord, I would be like a whole trunk full of just outfits.
Wait, for us?
It's worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll be
Oh,
worth
God.
it.
Wait, for us?
Just get it and hand it to me. Just
Yep.
get it and hand
Yeah,
it to me.
I
and
know
tell me
that's
to
how
put
it
on.
works.
Send me your size and we'll
Yeah.
work something out. We'll get it.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, if you rely on me to make it happen, I'll
Oh
fucking
no.
forget.
This will be handed to you, or very clearly,
Okay,
like
yeah.
you might need a black shirt, but we can very clearly ask for that.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so we are on Patreon. We do try to give our Patreon subscribers as many benefits as we can to say thank you. One of those is we try to give sneak peeks of merch. I was actually thinking about dropping some stuff in the VIP channel today. Anyway, so yeah, that's one way you can support us. The other way is to buy our merch. Several of the people on the screen are wearing some of our merch right now. We come out with new designs probably at least
share
once
a
or twice
screen.
a month.
I'll share the screen. Let's do it.
Yeah,
Look-
there you go.
look
Christina's
at
gonna Take
us.
us on a tour. We recently reopened
Quince
our
and
shop.
Quince and I happen to have different versions of the same hat.
Indeed, we do.
Yep. These are super fun. We have a blast doing these.
Yep. So yeah,
We got-
now we have a new arrival section, so you can see all the newest stuff easily.
Mm-hmm.
Get your ass out of the trunk.
Oh, you got to tell that to Princess
This-
Jin, who's about
this
to
one-
show you guys her ass.
It's funny because this one was done. I don't know. It took me 10 minutes, right? And I threw it in to Katie to ask her about colors, and she's like, "I actually really like that."
No, I found it in Canva. You'd made
Did
it
you?
and you didn't even tell me, and I found it in another file,
Uh-oh.
and I was like, "Did you make this?" She was like, "Yeah, I was just messing around," and I was like, "Can I put it on something?" She was like, "But
and
but
now
it's so simple."
people are like, "I love it," and I'm like, "That's so cool." So we have a good time doing this. It's really, really fun. So
We've talked about this a lot, Christina. The difference between Christina and I designing is that like I have an idea for a design and I want to get it from start to finish as quickly as possible and like post it done. Christina just throws out designs, and I don't know what percentage of them you actually use. Like maybe 10% of what you make you actually end up like taking to the finish line, because sometimes you just decide you don't like it along the way. And
I
She's very
do.
Taehyung.
I'm a
She's
yes.
very
I'm
Taehyung in her
very much
designs.
I'm very much I'm gonna go ahead and delete this because it's good trash.
She's Taehyung.
And
And it's, yeah, she's very Tae.
Well, and I'm running around behind her like, no, that one was really good. Can I use that?
Katie is Yoongi.
Undo.
Christina is Taehyung in this situation.
Yeah. He's like,
use
why
it.
would
She's
you
like,
delete
just put
Right.
it out there. Just put it out there. You never know. Just put it
you,
out there.
you know, that's true, and it's really helpful. This goes back to the project on why I'm so glad that there's 6 of us, because if it were just up to me, it would not be as successful, most definitely, because you definitely need people that are like, let's just give it a try, because I do not have that spirit most of the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is trash, this is embarrassing, I'm not putting it out. And so
I'm terrible at
need
everything.
people. Yeah, I'm terrible at everything, this sucks, and yeah.
Why do I
so
even
anyway,
try? That's what I would say. Why do I
that's
even try?
hey, I know.
Well, I was
know.
going to say real quick, do we want to talk about what's happening next week that we're arranging that's getting sent to Deb, or do we not want to talk about that?
I think so.
We
let's
did kind
wait.
of talk about it already.
We have
Yeah.
talked about it.
But let's make everybody. You have to tune into TikTok and our live on Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it.
We have
Yeah.
a special surprise.
There it
is.
So all of the things I just mentioned, the Patreon and the merch, you can find at the link that's pinned in the chat, ap529.com/links. And now, Quince, how can you support us for free?
Yes. So if you love us and you want to see us continue to be hot messes on the internet, why would you not? But maybe you can't support, maybe it's not in the cards for you to support monetarily at this time. That's fine. We appreciate you no matter what. But there are a few ways that you can support us for the low price of Freedy. And that is one, you can make sure that you are liking our lives, whether you're here on YouTube or on TikTok. You can make sure that you're liking the lives. If you're watching us on your phone, you might just have to exit out of the chat, but you can hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you're subscribed to our channel here on YouTube and hit the little bell so you get notified whenever we do anything. And then follow us on all the rest of our socials. We're Army Project 529 on every single social platform. We are mainly on YouTube, TikTok, and Discord, and Instagram, but mainly I would say TikTok. We are also on Twitter and some other places that I'm not going to talk about right now. But we are Army Project 529 everywhere. You can find us. You can also follow us individually if you want to. Like and share all of our posts, guys. Every time you see a post from us, like it, share it, comment on it, give us some engagement. And if you really love us and you love taking part in the project, please feel free to talk about us on your own social media, and tag us and let us know so that we can come and give you some support and love as well. Just talking about us and getting the word out there is the best way to spread this community, which we love. And getting more people to come and have some place to belong to like we do. So those are all the ways that you can help us for free skis. Thank you.
Nice.
Free skis.
We appreciate it. All of it.
Yes, thank you.
Yes. And now a brief time. And now we shall squee about Echo.
Brief moment.
Echo.
Brief moment to squee.
Brief moment to squee.
Oh,
Oh,
Jen.
gosh, that album is so good.
So good.
Jen,
Princess
okay.
Jen
Everybody
decided
in
she
the
needed to be
comments,
part of this conversation.
tell us if you've listened to the whole album yet. We hope you have. We hope you've been streaming.
We hope you have.
Yes, yes. And we are going to talk about our favorite tracks, but if you guys have a favorite one, please feel free to put it in the comments and tell us. Yes, and everybody squee.
Yes.
Andrea, this is Princess Jin, who decided she needed to be part of the conversation about Jin. She is straddling my arm across.
What a surprise. What a surprise that Princess
She
Jin
was
had
just like, I need to be in this conversation. Look at me.
Yes. Yes.
The way you were sitting there petting the cat, oh god! And see, I don't know what's that thing that Mike Myers like played, and he would sit there like that. The
Dr.
guy,
Evil.
Dr. Evil.
Thank
Dr.
you.
Evil?
That's what it reminded me
Yeah.
of. Yes,
Austin Powers.
Yeah.
yes.
I mean, valid.
Yes.
Yeah.
So who else? Okay, here was my question, because this is what happened to me. Who else listened to the teasers for the songs for Echo and thought, oh yeah, this one's going to be my jam, and then you actually heard the album and listened to it all the way through, and you ended up changing your mind? Because that happened to me.
Yep, me too.
Which is really, really cool.
Mhm.
I was definitely not expecting to gravitate towards the songs that I ended up gravitating towards.
What did you
as
think
much.
your song was going to be? What did you?
I
think
thought it was going to be Loser all the way.
Okay,
All the way.
can
I
see
was
that
like, no,
about you. Yeah,
100% Loser's going to be my song.
Yeah.
And it's still a really good song. But
I love it.
But my top 3 are different.
Yeah.
So
I thought that Background was going to be my favorite from the highlight medley, just the teaser of the instrumental. I thought that one was going to be my favorite, and it's not. I do really like it. It is one of my top tracks, but it's not my favorite.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I think
So-
for me it was more of an opposite thing. Like I didn't think I was gonna like Background as much as some of the other ones based on the teaser. And Loser and Background are tied for like my
I think I'm the
along
only
with
one.
Don't Say You Love Me.
They're all good songs. There's no bad songs on the album, but I would say Background is one that I am least drawn towards. So, but like everybody I see is like background. So apparently there's something I'm not getting, where it does not make my ears as happy as the other ones.
Well, no. So Background, people have been isolating his vocals for that, and I can totally see why people are obsessed with that song, because that same vocal run that he does, I've heard it over and over again on my timeline, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, he does things with his voice that
Yes.
you're just like,
Yeah.
damn, dude.
It
Yes,
really
he
is.
does. He does
it
things with
really
his
is
voice. Yes.
vocals in that song that I'm obsessed.
Yeah,
I'm obsessed.
totally.
Yeah.
And I not at any shock at all, but I love the fact that he put songs on there that were like kind of serious, emotional depth, really intense vocal delivery, like amazing. And then he's like, and now here's a horse neigh, bitches, and get your line dancing ready.
Yeah.
Because Super Tuna's cousin, Rope It, is coming in hard right in the middle of the album.
He's
right?
an animal lover, you know.
And
Listen, I won't lie. Rope It surprised me because like I don't like country music, but I'm mildly obsessed with that song, and it shocks me.
it
shocks me.
so fun.
It's still it's very pleasing to hear in a surprising way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's,
The
And
first
I
time
love-
I like Rope
Yeah.
It, but the first time I heard it, I was like, this is bizarre. Like it's country music in Korean. Like I don't.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, we have Korean
It's so
barbecue.
weird.
Like why not Korean
Yeah.
country music? I don't. Maybe it's going to start a trend. Like
Yep.
Well, and I love how he matched the vocals to the lyrics. So it's like,
Oh my
we go
God.
low, we go high, and he literally goes higher with his voice. And I'm like,
you said
goodness.
Bapsnade.
I think Bapsney was one of the
Bapsney
Kentucky
does.
Derby horses last year.
I
think
love it.
Bapsnade was one of the Kentucky Derby horses.
I love it.
We still need to go find that live and clip that part because that was so funny. I was like crying that night.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Made.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't have a favorite song. I love like all of them. I would say, yeah, Background is what I'm least like when I listen to it, it doesn't like it's. I don't know how to say this. My
Yeah,
mind
I don't know
sort of
how to say
wanders.
this without making somebody mad.
I know my
Somebody's
mind
gonna
sort
get
of
pissed
wanders
off.
when I listen to it, which means it's not bad. It doesn't draw my ear the same way the others do. But let's see. I really love To Me Today. I love that. I love somebody, I think it's been posted in the Discord, somebody posted a juxtaposition of the lyrics, one of the verses from that song to Awake, one of Jen's other solo songs. And it was really beautiful. He was like answering
That
himself.
juxtaposition of lyrics is amazing.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was really cute.
Surprisingly, I after going through, I really think "Don't Say You Love Me" is my favorite. I just
nice.
I'm obsessed with it. That bass line in that song is incredible, and
it's
the
so
things
good.
that he does with his voice on that song too are just insanity. And I love those lyrics. I love Jin going in, like taking, this. And he talked about like how he made that conscious decision that he wanted to talk about. He's like, he said, I wanted to talk about different kinds of relationships and different kinds of love. And sometimes love isn't healthy. And he's like, I wanted to kind of explore that and talk about that. And I love that he's doing that. So
I like that one more than I thought I would based on the teaser. Based on the teaser, I was like, it doesn't sound like it's my kind of song, but I love it now that I've heard the whole thing.
It is so
and
good.
let's talk about the video, because
I mean,
bitch, when that video started playing, we're going to talk about, we had a watch party, you guys. We had a release party. Let us know if you were there, but we'll kind of talk about it a little bit for those of you who might not have been. Yes, Jane, I do believe that is a fan song. He said that he wrote that with Army in mind. But yeah, so but when we started playing that MV and it came on, we were all just like mouths open.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I flailed.
I think I spent the majority of that video like this.
Yeah. I was like gripping my desk.
I know. We all had the same reaction. We were like, this is an entire K-drama. An entire season.
A whole ass K-drama.
Of a K-drama.
All 16
Which
episodes.
just proves they don't need 20 episodes.
I mean, it just
saying.
Yeah. And I liked
purposes they do.
I personally, my favorite thing is when they do videos that make you go, wait. Did you get that out of that video? And it makes you go back and rewatch it and go, I didn't get that. Because the first time I watched it, I'm like, they're getting back together in the end. And then I rewatched it and read some other people's comments about it. And I was like, oh, no, wait. This is maybe just showing just the back and forth nature. That's what you're supposed to leave with, is just the idea that this is just back and forth.
Yeah, like it's not necessarily linear. It's not necessarily linear. It's just like, it's like that cyclical nature of two people who know that they're not good for each other, but yet can't stop.
Yeah. So
and I felt like the ending very intentionally left it ambiguous to where you could interpret it as they're not getting back together, but you could also interpret it as they're going to try again. And like that ambiguous kind of ending, it felt very, very intentional.
Yeah. And I liked how they did it purposefully, where she's looking at him when he's looking away. And then as soon as she looks away, he looks at her. And it's like, oh man, like basically like two ships passing in the night. Like that's, it's never going to be like the right time.
And every time they meet, they just crash into each other.
Right. Exactly. So yeah, that was so good. It was so good.
Yeah. That like them running through and I think at first we thought it was a museum, but it's an airport, but them running through, it's in Singapore, that location, but them running through, it's like the chaos. It's like the chaos. It is like, it's like echoed the like chaotic nature of like a relationship that maybe isn't like the healthiest. Like running around like artifacts or in an art museum. It's not something that you would normally do, because that's frowned upon and they typically throw you out when you do things like that. So like it's like chaos in a very controlled situation. And that is when you see people who are in a relationship I hate to use the word toxic relationship, but because I don't want to just pin that label on it.
Mm.
But like, there are some people whose relationships you look at it and you're like, man, because it's like very much like an all or nothing thing, and it's like a very intense, and it's either like all or nothing or all or nothing. And that to me was like them running around, and then like the scenes where there's like pushing and they're chasing each other, and like it was very like, yeah, I don't know. It was
Volatile.
really well represented.
Volatile is the style of relationship. Yeah.
Tumultuous is another
They
good word.
they did really present it well. I mean, they cast that actress
Oh, yeah.
magnificently.
Min Si Kyung.
It was an absolutely brilliant pairing. Those two on the same screen. It was amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Jane said maybe that's why I'm single. You know what? Valid. Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's fair.
That's fair.
Listen, once you're single for a while, tumultuous
hard
doesn't
not.
sound very good anymore. You're just like, I'd rather stay single. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
not
But,
worth it. It's not really worth it.
So
But yeah. I ended up with I on repeat Nothing Without Your Love.
I mean,
That's my
so
that was my
good.
repeat one. Yeah. And then my kids in the car love Rope It. So of course that's not a
Yeah.
hardship at all. They're like, this is great. I'm like, it is.
And I do really love Loser also.
Yes.
I mean, I thought I was going to like it, but I thought it was going to be a little bit more like punk pop, and I
Right.
wasn't sure, but it still leans very much towards like rock, like punk rock.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
now that we have all of Echo out and we have all of Happy out, and we know that he has said on several occasions, Jin himself has said he wants this concert to be a little bit different.
Yeah.
How in the hell is this all going to come together? I am so curious.
Yeah. Well, first, how do you even think it compares to Happy? And I'm not saying which one do we think one's better or than another one. I'm just saying, how do we think it compares in like feeling, theme, that kind of thing?
Well, I think he himself said that he was going to dive more deeply into emotional depths and work a little bit more on his versatility in terms of the musical genres that he was going to cover, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I need to find a playlist where somebody has, you know, back in the day when we used to make mixtapes for each other, and you would match songs according to like their mood. I need somebody to do a playlist of like what how they think Happy and Echo are going to integrate, because he's not going to do. I'm going to go out on a limb, put my clown makeup on, and say he's not at his concert going to sing all Happy stuff first and then go into all Echo stuff. He's going to try to intersperse them.
Yeah, I am very interested to see how he's gonna break it up, because I mean, we think about Hobie, how he segmented his show.
Right.
He did have things sort of separated by album, but not completely.
Right. He did more feeling.
It was
exactly.
It was more of a feeling.
Exactly. And like it matched his outfits when he came out, and the
Mhm.
background, he would make it really dreamy for Sweet Dreams. It was like pastels and stuff. And then, you know, Mic Drop looked completely different, you know, stage wise and his outfit wise. Like, yeah, it's gonna be fascinating.
So yeah,
I
we'll be
think-
really interested to see what
I
Jen
think
does.
Happy sounds like an album made by somebody who just got out of somewhere where they felt trapped is not the right word, but where they're definitely out in the world now. So like Running Wild and I'll be like, there's a joyousness to those songs, and then some of the other songs you can tell he was reflecting on the feelings he had while he was in the military. It's somebody who's back from after a period of separation, is a better way to say it. Yeah.
Oh,
like
and
Heart on the
Juliana-
Window Will Come to You. Like you can tell he missed people.
Right.
He missed things. So yeah, that's what I would say the difference. Whereas this was clearly, it's about like love and relationships, but also there's a little bit of like sass to it. There's a little bit of anger as well. There's some a little bit of negative feeling, and not in the I missed you kind of way. there's a tiny bit of sour feeling in there.
I mean,
Like-
because I think if you think about it, Happy to Echo is a similar feeling difference of like Hope World to Jack in the Box. You had a more upbeat feel and then a darker feel, and that's to me that it's a very similar dichotomy. Both of which are brilliant in their own ways.
Yeah. And even like the slower songs on Happy, or like the more ballady songs, they're still it's still coming from a place of joy of like, I missed you and now I'm back.
Mhm.
Right. Okay, so somebody in the comments brought up a good point, because I've been thinking about this too. Hobie did BTS OT7 songs in his concert. What do you think Jin's gonna do?
I mean, it's a possibility, but we don't know. We've never seen Jin perform OT7 songs by himself before, but then again, he hasn't had a lot of opportunity to perform solo before. Like when he did his Happy showcase, it was literally just to show off Happy. So
Same with Echo.
yeah, but we don't know, because JK had his Golden Showcase and he did perform Magic Shop. And he has also performed, when he did Global Citizens, he did Dynamite, and Hobie has performed many OT7 songs by himself. So there's a precedence, obviously. So Jin might want to do it, but we don't know. I think that if he did, they would probably not be dance forward songs. I'm just going to go on a limb.
Right. Well, because you don't know. I mean, we knew going into Hobie's concert that it was going to be dance.
Yeah.
Right.
Obviously, that's his shtick,
that's his
man.
thing.
That's his thing.
Yeah. So, I'm super interested. Like Jin saying, like it's going to be different. It's going to feel different.
That's true. Yoongi did some. Well, he did his parts from some BTS songs.
Right.
He didn't do.
Yeah.
I mean, Jin has performed My Universe. Somebody said, I think Jin would perform My Universe. He has performed My Universe with Coldplay in Seoul.
Yeah.
So
I'm not saying he wouldn't. I think he definitely would.
I think he will. I won't be surprised. Let's put it that way. I will not be surprised if he includes OT7 songs in his lineup. But I'm very curious as to how much of his concert will be concert and how much will be variety show.
Yeah.
You know what I really love? I would really love if Jin wanted to throw in some of their Japanese discography.
Right.
Right. And Riven just hit the floor.
Riven just hit the floor. I also think too, in a fun way, and I could be totally off base with this, but I also think in a fun way that they use some songs sometimes as to send a message, right? And so it was very much Hobie saying, y'all know we're back, so here's some mic drop for your asses. Like it was very like that message was very, very loud and awesome from using that song. And so I wonder if Jin will try to, do the same thing. Like he's going to send a message with the song, but we'll see. We'll see. It's just fun. I show up there with an open mind and heart, and just like, I know I'm going to be entertained no matter what. So I'm just like, I'm here, for the whole experience. So we shall see.
Yeah.
We shall see.
We're going to love it no matter what.
Yeah.
We are. We're going to freak out no matter what.
I mean, just seeing
Jin.
them when
It's going to be amazing.
Up. Stephanie now knows what it feels like when all of a sudden you're like, they're in front of me.
You're like, they're a real person. They're real.
And
Would you just die if all of a sudden like Crystal Snow started playing?
Oh my gosh.
If this man does Crystal Snow and Stay Gold, I will literally decease.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Stay Gold is so beautiful.
Or imagine if he just broke out like House of Cards or The Truth Untold.
Devastation. Here we go.
I need you to stop it.
Manifest.
Manifest.
Manifesting,
Stop it.
manifesting. Bro, Crystal Snow. Now it's in my head canon of manifestation. I need
Oh.
this because his
Those
notes on
notes.
that. Oh my god, he hits that triple high on that song. You're like, no,
Yep.
shut
Yep. Here we
up.
go.
I'm fine, guys. I'm fine. It's all fine.
And Hobie will be watching, like, remember, y'all fell in love with me. You were all just in love with me. So, sorry.
Right. So we love Jen and we can't wait.
Yeah,
Yes.
for sure.
So from talking about the stuff that we loved, let's talk about a little something that we're not crazy about.
We're not as keen on.
We're not as keen on.
Not as big of a fan of this one.
Tonight's deep dive. Kindness over clout. Fixing toxicity in K-pop fandoms. What a
Woo!
great title.
Dang.
Now listen, we are
Good
not
title.
purporting that we can fix
Um,
toxicity in
oh, no.
K-pop fandoms.
No.
We
In
cannot.
fact, we went into this project. I didn't even know there was such a thing.
I didn't either.
I thought it was a bunch of people hanging out having fun talking about Bangtan.
Listen,
And it is
yeah.
that.
And it is
However,
but
As it
Nay,
turns
we
out-
found out.
as it turns out, these K-pop streets are a little meaner than I thought they were.
Yeah.
Mhm.
As
they
it turns
can
out.
be. They can
They
be,
can be
for
quite
sure.
cruel, man.
They can be amazing, and then they can turn
Yeah.
around and slap you in the face.
Yeah, totally true. Totally true.
So we're diving a little bit into, if you want to say, the darker side of K-pop fandom, and why mean behavior online is so common, and maybe some ways that we as a community can try to shift the culture for the better, towards the more positive. So that's our goal for tonight.
Right.
So
Right.
does anybody want to start? I mean, I can, you know what? I'll start because this is a topic. This is a topic that riles me up. So I'll just go ahead and talk about it. So we are a BTS community, but within our community, we have a lot of members who like all kinds of music and who like other music in the K-pop world. Doc and I are both fans of a lot of different artists in the K-pop world. We're slowly dragging Katie into the world of other groups too. And we're working, and you know what, Patricia likes some other groups as well too. So we have a lot of project members who are, if you want to say the term multi-stands, there are, you can lightly apply that. And one of the examples that we see a lot of on the internet is fan wars. And we have mentioned this before, but fan wars is basically when the fandoms of different groups or artists they fight with each other online. Because for some perceived reason, like their group doesn't like this, they think their group doesn't like this group, or this group did something to this group. There doesn't really need to be a basis behind it, but there are certain fandoms out there that like to fight. And we're not talking about fandoms as a whole. We're talking about certain people. Because as we know, every fandom out there has great elements, and then there are the not so good elements. And some of those not so good elements decide to go out and they pick fights with other fandoms. And what have we always said here at Army Project 529 is that fan wars are dumb.
Yeah, they are.
They're dumb and they're pointless. And don't think I'm crying. I'm not. It's my allergies. It's my fucking allergies.
Well, and
I'm fighting for my life against the pollen right now.
I think along those, if you bear in mind, we've talked about it before on other deep dives, is a very, very high volume of fan wars are driven by paid for marketing bot companies.
But even so,
but
it's dumb.
it's dumb
Yeah.
regardless.
then we also have, aside from fan wars, we've got people out there who shame casual listeners or multi-stans. So people who don't like go, there are fans out there who they are fans, but maybe they don't have time to go like all in, you know, like they don't have time to stream 24/7 on multiple devices. You know, maybe they have multiple groups that they listen to and enjoy. So maybe sometimes they want to vote for this group instead of this group on something, you know, but there are people out there who don't like that, and they shame people for doing that. We have others out there. We see harassing of idols and fans, gatekeeping and elitism. It's like, you can't be a member of this fandom if you don't do such and such, basically is what we're saying. So it's like people saying that there's some sort of like checklist that you have to meet before you can be.
Or my personal not like one where it's like, oh, you didn't know that BTS had that song back in 2014 on September 1st that they released on SoundCloud. And you're like, bitch, listen, we run an entire ass project for a year and a half, and we don't even know all of the content. So instead of doing that, what you need to do is be opening the door and saying, oh my gosh, have you seen this? Because it is so cool. And then send them a link.
Right.
And then talk about it. Like we don't shame people for not knowing every single little damn detail about Bangtan, because they have a gigantic digital footprint. Gigantic. And like I even nowadays, like I pride myself if I can find a Yoongi photo that I have never seen before. And I'm super glad that even after being an ARMY for going on 5 years now, that there are still pictures that I haven't seen. So yeah, that's my own thing about gatekeeping and elitism is there's no queen army that we all bow to. There's no king army that we all bow to. It's just people that entered into the fandom from different places and different times. Yeah. And so get everybody up on the lore. That's the fun part.
Yeah. And that's the thing is that like, you know, there's that saying, you know, like when you're moving up, like when you're making moves and you're going places, you know, don't push the people, don't do it. You don't get anywhere by stepping on other people. Don't step on people to get yourself somewhere higher. You reach your hand down and you bring them up with you. And it's the same thing here. So like, we don't sit around and feel like superior because we've literally spent so many hours looking at BTS content for this project that we know a perfectly normal, healthy amount about Bangtan Sonyeon.
Yes,
we'll go with that. Sure, we'll go with that.
Normal amount.
Completely normal amount.
Normal amount. And we talk about them a completely healthy, normal amount. But we don't sit around and talk about how much better we are because we know this fact. And like, you know, Susie Q Army out there who just walked in like, hey guys, what's going on? Didn't know it. You know, like we don't sit around and do that. And that's because does that really make anybody feel better? No,
and you know what?
It shouldn't.
And that's why I'm gonna be real honest. That's why I love Discord so much, because there's no follower count in Discord. You can talk to any one of the admins the same way you can talk to anyone else in the Discord. There is no hierarchy. Like, so that's, I really like that about Discord, because sometimes on other social medias, people will talk about big accounts versus small accounts kind of thing. And it's like your opinion somehow matters more or less depending on how many followers you have. And that's a weird kind of thing to think about. So that's why I go to Discord first to talk about Bangtan, because it's equal footing with everybody.
Eileen, we're going to actually talk about your point in a minute. about the anonymity of the internet.
Anonymity. Yes.
But before we move on, like Bangtanified4 said, there's enough drama in Bangtan, and that's all I can handle. I would defend R7, and I stop at 7. The only other K-pop I know would be R7 collabs. And you know what? That's perfectly. That's wonderful. That for you. Like if that's what you love, that is great. And there are lots of people in our project that feel the same way. That BTS is it for them, and that's great. But we also don't. It's important that we don't say, well, you have to feel the same way. And the people in our project, nobody here says that. Like, no. Just because if Stephanie only wants to listen to BTS, she's not going to think less of me because I like other groups as well, you know? And it's right. So it goes, and I don't look down at Stephanie for just, you know, if she says she only wants to listen to BTS, I'm not going to be like, well, what's wrong with
right.
you? No, we're not like that. And that's what we're saying is like, right. as long as everybody does what they love and doesn't like poo-poo other people for doing what they love, we can all harmoniously get along out there.
Right. Yeah. Right. Because like I think along that point would be somebody like me. I don't know if you guys figured it out, but I'm neurodivergent as fuck. And so when I listen to music, I stream the crap out of Bangtan. Yes, I do. I consistently hit when you get that wrapped at the end of the year, I'm in like the top 0.001%, you know, of listeners of BTS. But I also listen to over 2,000 different artists on Spotify. 2,000 different artists because my brain has to bounce. It has to. But I still listen to Bangtan in an inordinately large amount.
And even if your brain didn't need to bounce stock, even if you weren't neurodivergent as fuck, you wouldn't have to qualify it. You could just be like, I listen to 2,000 different artists because I like listening to 2,000 different artists, and that's right. It. That's it. That's enough. That's all you would have to say, and people would be like, cool,
or should be like cool.
Well, it should be like cool. Exactly. That's how we should all be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cool. So you guys let's talk for a minute about the impact that this kind of stuff has on us as fans and on the idols themselves.
Yeah. Well, I think it drives people, first of all, from particular social media platforms. I think it makes people want to detach from certain places. Because if you are seeing negativity on your timeline, that's going to take a toll on you mentally, because some people, you know, set foot onto a social media platform and go, hey, I'm here to celebrate Bangtan. And then they see everything else on the timeline and they go, what the hell? Yeah. It can really make it feel like the word is splintered. So the community has fractured in a way so that you have these people that feel this way about it over here and you know, either not interacting or you know, choosing not to listen to the other part. And then there's the thing that, you know, carries it outside of the fandom, which is that there can be some reputational damage for the fandom, and people will like to say statements like X fandom is toxic, X fandom is, you know, like people will say that, and that kind of carries sometimes outside of the fandom, and we know, you know, news media outlets and things can pick up on that and share screenshots of things that people have said, and I want to make it though very clear though that this is not, you know, a lot of this stuff that we're mentioning is not even specific to K-pop, really.
No, it's not.
It has, I mean, I'm part of the Star Wars fandom, and when the prequels came out, holy shit, you want to talk about splintered fandoms.
Yeah.
When the prequels came out, like if you dare to go on the internet and say you love Jar Jar Binks, dare go on the internet and say that as a
audacity.
The audacity. So it's like you would get piled on. Right. Some of this is just a larger issue in terms of the way that social media is handled nowadays. And it's not K-pop specific. So I just wanted to make that clear. But yeah, so that can be impactful. It can be emotionally hurtful. Stephanie knows. We all know, actually.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is actually a great time to just, we're not gonna belabor on it, but the past week's been a little, not great for Steph and by proxy us, but mostly for Steph. If she wants to talk about it for a second, because it has been a little bit of a. We talked about it a little bit on Wednesday, but things. Escalated might be an appropriate word after our last live. So I think we thought it was worth mentioning again, especially in conjunction with this topic. So I don't know, Steph, if you want to give a little brief,
you
want to mention about it.
I'll start with this and just say I think one of the things that makes me sad about kind of the more toxic side of the fandom, and I almost hate to call them toxic because I try to give the benefit of the doubt, but
yeah.
It's hard to when they come calling you names and, like trying to cancel you and stuff like that for having an opinion. But, it's bad because you can't defend yourself, because if you try to defend yourself, it only riles them up more. Right. And you're like defeating the whole purpose, because I was thinking about it. I've thought about it a lot, not like in a bad way, but I'm like, for me, for this example, for Namjoon, I've never had a negative thought about Namjoon. I adore him. I love him, right? And so in my mind, when I'm talking about, like, there's nothing in my mind that even can comprehend that someone's going to think that I'm saying I hate Namjoon. You know what I mean? Because in my mind, it would never happen. That doesn't even compute. And so when you put stuff out there, you don't realize all the 50 million ways that different people coming from their own points of view and their own biases and their own whatevers are going to take what you're saying. And it seems like the vast majority of people get you and they give you the benefit of the doubt. I mean, I think 98% of the comments that I got were very positive, and I got you, or I felt the same way, or I felt the same way about another member or whatever. But man, that, that little percent. And then here's the other thing. If you block them, like, because I just started blocking them. Look, I've got real shit going on in my life right now.
Right.
I don't need to be fucking worried about people. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, I got real shit. And this is like the least of my concern. So I didn't want all of that negativity to mess up my own peace of mind. And so I just started blocking people. Well, then you block people. And then they send people that are like, how dare you block people? This only proves that we were right the whole time. And it's just like, you cannot win for losing. Mm-hmm. And so I kind of went back and forth in my mind. And I was like, I've always been the kind of person that I'm just honest. I just am who I am. And I think if you're going to put yourself out there in social media, you just kind of have to prepare that you're going to get shit for it. Because like somebody else said, you could say the sky is blue and that's going to piss somebody off. Right. Because they could be like, well, where I am, there's stores. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, so.
Right.
As long as I'm coming from it from a very good, very loving place. And if people don't want to see that, they don't have to. But I think fandoms are just sort of, and I almost hate to say fandoms because it's such a small percentage.
Yeah.
Right.
It really is. It's just a small percentage and maybe they have more of a fight instinct than maybe some other people do, or,
yeah.
And then they just go, it's like you hit and go.
Yeah, we kind of said it in the title, like clout chasing. Yeah. But I think the worst thing about what we saw happen this past week was that it was a deliberate misinterpretation of what you had said, and then what you then continued to say. Like when you made your follow-up video, and then in some of your comments, it was a deliberate misinterpretation. We saw several people say that they didn't even watch. They just came and commented because other people were commenting. They didn't even actually watch what you said, or they didn't take the time to look at your comments and or really ask about them. So the things that we had to deal with, we had people coming from different places trying to dogpile on this negativity. But when they were invited to participate in discourse about it, like, oh, hey, if you have a question for Steph, or if you're legitimately seeking information, like, I saw this, and I'm not really sure what it's about. Could you please talk to me about this? When they were invited to that kind of discourse, all they did was poof, disappear. They came, they dropped hate, and then when they were invited to talk about it, like adults, they decided to leave instead. And this happened on several different platforms of ours.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think it's interesting because people would let me know that there were a lot of like, they took screenshots of like different, but they don't show you the entire, you know what I mean? Like one of the ones that they were using, they were going around telling everybody that I was actively trying to keep Namjoon from winning Mnet.
Right.
And then I had laughed about him losing Mnet. And it was a screenshot of me laughing at a comment, right? I did like the laughing because I thought that comment, I mean, the comment basically said, if they're going to get this worked up or something like that, I wish they would get this worked up or something about him winning Mnet or voting for him or something. Like, I thought they were coming in on my behalf, you know what I mean? Like making a comment about all these people getting so mad. If they would put all that energy into voting, maybe he would. That's how I took it.
Yeah.
And so I laughed at it because I was like, oh my God, you have such a point. But apparently they were one of my haters and they were talking about me. And so they think I was like, laughing at Namjoon not winning.
Exactly.
But the thing about it is they go and they share all this stuff and not one person comes to you and says, hey, before I say shit about you, could you clarify? You know what I mean? It's just like, let's assume the worst.
Well, and one of the things I thought was fascinating is there were people who asked you to clarify like laugh reactions, and then you would clarify your laugh reactions. But the screenshot, you can see a lot of these screenshots will say like 3 more comments that they didn't show
They don't include
in their screenshot because the 3 more comments clarify what you mean and can't be taken out of context. And so they'll specifically make their screenshot not show the 3 more comments where you clarified what you were reacting to.
Right. I think that, so back to the whole, not just my situation, but I just think fandoms in general. And again, you talk about that. I mean, we've had these conversations. Football fans are just as bad, right? They think their teams are great and everybody else's fans are horrible. I mean, every aspect of the society has their good parts and their bad parts. And unfortunately, I think the reality is we just have to live with it, right? Because I was having that debate. I was like, okay, well, do I sort of back off, social media? Do I stop sharing my thoughts? But I'm like, you know what? Most of the people that I communicate with follow me because I share my thoughts, right? Right. And I'm being inauthentic if I just clam up or don't ever give an opinion. Like, you guys know me. I'm one of those, like, I never want people like that to win, right? And if everybody clams up and never shares an opinion out of fear,
right? Well, I totally get you. And here's what we decided almost right away when we started this project. We were very clear on this. We knew that once we identified what kind of people we were going to be, what kind of presence we were going to have on social media, and the kinds of things we were going to talk about, right? We knew right then that by drawing that line in the sand, that there would be people that would not be our people.
Mm-hmm. Right.
100%.
Totally.
And I feel like that was a very healthy mindset for us to have right in the beginning, because as soon as we got out there, we started getting tested, right? And we started discovering these different pockets of people and how they move and how they screenshot and share. And like, that was a world that none of us were really super familiar with at all.
Yeah. And it wasn't like we didn't want them to be our people. It was more like we just knew it's that mindset of like, we had that healthy mindset of like, we're probably not going to be for everybody.
We're not everybody's jam. We get it.
Yeah. Right. It wasn't that we wouldn't want to welcome people as long as they wanted to come in and have a good time, but it was more like, we're not going to be for everybody. So
And we have certain boundaries that we wanted for our community and for each other. And Steph, I have to say really quick, one of the negative comments I saw about you is that somebody said you hide in your echo chamber. I'd like to be very, very clear right now.
It's really funny considering that on Wednesday.
Really funny because the 6 admin members disagree all the fucking time about shit. I want to make that very clear. We disagree.
Steph has said it's hard to bring ideas to us before.
We disagree a lot. And we have
She
we
struggles to
have
bring us ideas.
we get snippy with each other. It's like siblings, man. We get snippy with each other. We go, hey, you're not listening to me. I think this way. No, you're totally wrong. It's this way. And so the idea that this is an echo chamber, I really got to push back on that, because that notion is just flat out false.
Stephanie goes to social media because they're nicer to her.
Because I can get a word in edgewise.
I'm gonna laugh because that's true. I'm not gonna
Nicer,
say-
but like she goes
Yeah.
to social media and they immediately
they'll
tell her
listen.
yes. They immediately tell her yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, she
So the idea, so dear listener, dear reader, dear commenter that commented that, I'm just gonna have to call a flag on the play on that one. That is not true. There is no echo chamber here. And we are more interested in finding out the truth in our discussions about Bangtan. We are more interested in the truth and getting closer to what the seven themselves want us to focus on than we are about our own feelings about it. And that's how it's
Jane
always
asked a
been.
question too. She's like, the other thing they harp on is monetization. Can you address that? I don't even know.
Well-
I've never sold anything. I've never.
No, I think they're
I don't know
talking
what they're
about
talking-
monetizing content that people make about BTS. I think that's what she's talking about. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jane.
Yeah, because I had people say, "Oh, she's doing it for the money," or she's
Yeah,
doing it, and I was like,
I would like to point out that we make on average 1 penny
"Yeah,
for TikTok
for-
Live,
yeah."
rolling in the fucking.
We're rolling
You know,
in it, y'all.
It's been a year and a half, and we still haven't made enough money on the TikTok Lives to cash it out.
No,
Because you have
yeah.
to make like above like $10 to get the money.
Yeah.
Haven't reached that goal yet. Still
Yeah,
I
working
don't
on
have
it,
a
though.
shop. Oh, my book. I mean, okay,
It was-
that's interesting because, like, the book again, like these are people that don't know
First of all,
me.
this
I
is
mean,
all really bad timing.
yeah, I mean, the book is something that is about me and my story and my journey. It's not like
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I'm going to make a whole lot. I mean,
Well, and also, fun fact: Stephanie was an author before the project began.
Before this.
Before. This is not her first book.
yeah,
Yeah.
This is not her first book.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
you know what though? Here's what I have to say about that. Okay. Talking on social media about anything, okay, whether you're a reaction channel, whether you're, doing lives like we are, all of those people at some point they get enough followers and their channel is monetized. Okay. So here's the really simple thing. If you enjoy the content that they are making for you, and you're helping with those ads and things like that, you're letting those people know that you want them to continue their content.
Yeah.
Or if you don't like their content, you don't have to watch it. You don't have to watch it. You don't have to buy those books. You don't have to go and search them out on YouTube. You don't, there is nothing that you have to pursue in that fact. Because really what you're saying is, what you're really saying when you talk to Steph about monetization and writing a book, what you're really saying is, I don't want you to do the thing that you are, which is an author, even before you met BTS. I don't want you to do the thing that you are, talking about something that you love.
Right.
And it's also
That's it.
like, I want you to do this thing for me,
Right.
but I don't want you to receive any sort of compensation
Right.
for it that would allow you to spend your time on
We
it.
know, Jane.
Right.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
it-
So-
yeah.
I'll say this. I'll be very clear. It was more than a year of basically full-time work for 6 people before any of us saw a penny.
Yeah.
And the pennies have not
More
been
than.
like super big since then either.
No.
But yeah, a year of twice a week TikTok lives, a year of all
Right.
this.
Now-
not a penny.
Well,
Now-
here's the other thing that's kind of
Mhm.
funny about it, because I think we joked about this the other day, and it's the truth. So number one, I mean, the book, if they want to say that about the book, those people were never going to buy my book anyway.
Yes.
Right. I mean,
Right.
this is a book for people that are like me, that are like us, that were looking for a community. I'm not trying to say I'm a BTS expert. I'm not spouting BTS facts. This is about me and my journey. Right. So that's number one. Number two, they were saying you're misusing your influence, whatever, and spreading bad information about Namjoon. About 400 people would have seen that video had they not all attacked. They're the ones
Right.
that pushed it up in the algorithm. I didn't do that. I didn't create content to sell a book.
Yeah.
I just made a video that I would always make. And they're freaking out about it is what actually boosts. When I woke up and I had 200,000 views in like 12 hours, I was like, well, that must not have gone well. I've never had anything hit like that before, right? Like,
Yeah.
that was not
Right.
my intention at all. If I sell 12 copies of that book, I'll be happy. It's just
Yeah.
my story and
Yeah.
I'm sharing it.
Well, it was your therapy to write it in the first place.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So really quickly, like, just because we've touched on them, Christina put down here, and I wanna mention them because they're really important to think about, and especially when we question, like, why does this stuff happen? Why? Well, some of the common causes for this kind of toxic behavior is, somebody already mentioned it earlier, is anonymity is one of the biggest ones on the internet. People feel
Mhm.
power when they are behind their keyboard, and it feels like there's a lack of consequences because that they can say whatever they want, because truly people don't know who they are. They're not really saying things to somebody's face. They're just typing words on a screen. So that sort of lack of consequences leads to people often saying things that they would never say to somebody's face. There's the competitive culture in fandom. So we mentioned, like, I mean, specifically we have here around streaming and charting. That's one side of it. There's also competitive culture when you look at creators who are out there, like, making content surrounding BTS. Now, I mean, a lot of creators get along and are really happy and make friends with each other, but there are also creators out there who really do see it as a competition, and sometimes little petty wars start. And so there's that, because, they're fun and they're people, the parasocial nature of these kinds of fandoms sometimes comes into play. And I think that we saw quite a bit of that with what happened with Stephanie, because she was speaking her own feelings and her reasoning of when she was talking about how she wanted to get to know Namjoon better now, and she was explaining the reason why she felt she hadn't already connected with him as much as some of the other members. Now she wanted to explore and move towards and find that connection with him. And she was explaining why. And it was just her own, like, personal life and trauma and feelings. But people who came in having this really, like, deep, like, feelings about Namjoon, and felt like she was saying negative things,
And that they needed to defend him.
They needed
Right.
to defend him, where
Right.
it was not a situation in which he needed to be defended. And
Right.
then again, misinformation about narratives, manipulated narratives. That's what we saw. All of that
Mhm.
happened. And then I like this last one that Christina put in. How about good old fashioned jealousy?
Right.
You can get your own ass on your own TikTok account and talk
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
your relationships with Bangtan and how
Yeah.
you feel about them in your life, in your lifestyle. You are welcome to do that on your own.
And you know what?
You
What we
are.
say, as much shit as we give that little clock app,
Mhm.
we say one thing we always give that app credit for is that people put their faces on there.
Yeah.
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 And-
Unlike the Twitters.
And
where-
one thing I do appreciate about that clock app on the front of faces is, what was it, like about a year ago? They basically said, if your face is not seen, we won't push your shit out anymore.
Yeah.
And all kinds of content creators who had not been showing their faces suddenly started showing their faces, because they were like, they told us that if our faces aren't being seen, they're not going to let our content be seen anymore. So
Right.
they basically forced the big creators to show their faces, or anybody who actually wanted their content pushed out. And so I did appreciate that about them, is that they did force the faces.
Can I ask a
out for
question,
people who are
though?
creators.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if we talked this, I didn't see this spreadsheet, but I do want to ask this question because I asked it in the second video. And that is, and I made the point, we love these guys and they are so incredibly complex. Why is it that it's expected that we can't also be complex? You know what I mean? Like, if we're going to talk about them, we can only talk about them as if,
So
you know what I'm saying? Like,
I
so,
do,
like,
and
whatever.
I have a theory about that real quick, because and there's two things. There's old stuff and there's more recent stuff. So the old stuff is that we know that Bangtan were the underdogs. We
Right.
know that their fandom, our fandom, in the very beginning had to fight tooth and nail, and that there was a huge bullying and a problem against them. And so
Yes.
Army had to be very, very tough. In those,
Tenacious.
right, very tenacious and very protective of them in the very in the beginning, especially when they were coming up. So I think there's that old energy, right?
Yeah.
And then last year, when
With
Yoongi
Yoongi.
had his thing, that flared up to the extreme. And I was one of those people who was battling on Twitter and doing the reportings and stuff like that, because that again was awful. And it really put the fandom back into that defense mode where we are like, unless you're praising our guys, keep their names out of your mouth. Like we were very, like we got very, very tough again and had to show our teeth and nails.
Right.
And so I think that those two sort of feelings, combined with the fact that they're still not back yet. They're almost back, but they're still not back yet. Means that we are missing them terribly. And so all that energy that we, would use when they're back and we can enjoy them and all the stuff that they're going to do, we're still in that waiting mode. And so I think it just, as a fandom, all of that kind of combines to make some people extra sensitive right now. And the thing is that it's not a bad thing. I want to get this very, very clear, especially if you don't know us or you're new to AP 529. This is very clear. We welcome respectful discourse always.
Yes.
We are always willing to have conversations with people. And even people who disagree with us and who don't think that we have done the right thing or don't like how we said something, we are always welcome to have respectful discourse. The problem is when people come at us sideways. You're not going to get a good discourse from these 6 professional women or any of the moderators in our chats if you come at us with a disrespect. That's a human thing. That's not even related to Bangtan.
Well,
Because it's going to be a waste of time. I mean,
and so
why would you respond?
I think that human thing is a really big component of what we're seeing here too. Is back to the anonymity of the internet. When you live on the internet as an anonymous person for long enough, it is, especially if you're on the more toxic side of it, it is so very, very easy to forget that the content creator is a human.
Yeah.
That is a human being. You are shredding and tearing apart for no reason other than to what? Get your minute of clout, build yourself up, deal with your jealousies because you're anonymous and it doesn't matter because the negative comments will get you pushed higher in certain platforms, algorithms, because 2 platforms are far worse for the negativity than the others because that's how their algorithms work. And so you see this happen on those platforms. And the more negative you are, the higher your clout and the more followers you have and the more likes you get, and all of this other stuff. And it's so easy to forget that on the other side of that content creator is a human being, one going through their own shit, one going through their own life experiences, their own things. That is a human on the other side of that. And so when you forget that and you get stuck in your own echo chamber of negativity on your platform, that is where a lot of the damage and the danger and the toxicity come from. On social media.
This is what, and that is a good point of like that kind of stuff hurts the fandom experience. And it makes people like, because when people do engage with that toxicity, when we talk about this with you guys all the time, like when you see something negative, don't engage with it, because the more you engage with it, the more the algorithm will push it, and then you will see people going, oh, okay, so this is what gets you views, and then they start doing it because they want views, and then that's how it perpetuates. And so that ends up making like new people coming in be like, I don't know if I actually want to be a part of this. And it can also make people who have been doing it for a while suddenly go, yeah, I don't know that
Not
this
worth
is
it anymore.
Yeah.
Which we've seen a lot of lately on platforms like Twitter.
Yeah,
And
I have seen that. I've been
Threads.
screenshotting a lot of those things and sending them to Katie, because we're the two main people that are on Twitter, I think, the most. There's a lot of really big Bangtan, related accounts that are like, you know what, screw this. Like I'm out. And, and that's just it's a reflection of how I think people are just kind of getting fed up at getting their asses chewed for stuff,
for
that's
nothing.
like for nothing.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it was like I think Christina was the one who shared it. There was a pretty decent sized content creator over on Twitter the other day who was like, I could tweet that the sky is blue, and I'd get 12 people explaining to me how it's not blue, and 5 people retweeting it, and 30 people are quoting me, and it's this whole big blow up fight arguing with me over how the sky is not blue and how sometimes it's gray and all this other nonsense.
Yeah.
And it's this war on the platform about how dare I try to impose my belief system that the sky is blue upon a pink sky. And so like that was her tweet. And then even though some of them were tongue in cheek, the comment section was literally filled with pictures of pink skies and gray skies and how dare you. And I know a lot of the comments were her friends who were tongue in cheek and they were just making fun of it. But also there was a reality to what she pointed out, as proven in the comments, is because she was saying, you say the sky is blue. Not everywhere in the world at the same time is the sky blue. So some people are like, no, the sky is black right now. And how the audacity.
An exercise in pointing out ridiculousness.
Yeah, and that's what's happening inside the fandom is you're not allowed to say I believe this or I feel this or this is the point in my life I was when I first came into Bangtan, and this is why I don't know this particular member as well, but I want to know them better. And suddenly you hate that person and you're calculating against them and all this other stuff. And it's like literally I just explained a whole psyche, gave a psychological discourse on why I was in the place I was in at the time I came into Army, and why I want to learn more about this person because I love them. And it's still, clearly you hate them.
So a lot of you guys in the comments are already pointing out ways that we can work to change this. Muting, blocking, reporting is such an important thing when you guys see hateful things out there. It doesn't even have to just be about BTS. If it's hateful about other Army or like anybody, like you can still report it. You can report it to the platform that you're on. They have very like well-documented ways to do that. And of course, if it is about Bangtan or any group that's part of HYBE, they have a very easy website where you can go and you can report that behavior to them. And they take it very seriously, as we have seen from our quarterly fuck around and find out notices that come out. And then of course, what?
Are we due for one soon? I feel
I think
like
we're due for one soon.
Yeah, we are due.
You know, when you post or react, just take a moment and think about things before you do those things. And like, is what I'm going to say, like, is this going to contribute in a positive way, or is this going to perhaps perpetuate this situation and elevate it? Like, just take a moment and think, because it can be real tempting sometimes to fire back at people, but it's not 9 times out of 10, it's not worth it, even if it's going to make you feel real good in the moment.
You are arguing with a child, most
Yeah,
likely.
Because you
or a
think
bot.
you're going to
bot.
do good. You think you're going to, oh, they just need to be, they'll understand.
They'll
No,
understand.
they don't want
They
to
don't want to
understand.
understand.
They don't actually
They don't
want
want
to be
to.
informed. They just
Yeah.
want to fight
No,
with you.
it's
Right.
willful ignorance.
Yeah.
It's willful ignorance. They do not
Yeah.
want to know. They have no desire to know. All they want to do is push the algorithm so that they
Yeah.
get their 15 minutes of fame by fighting with you.
Well,
Avoid
that's what I was
fan
gonna-
wars at all costs. Sorry, Katie, go
That's
ahead.
okay. That's what I was gonna say is so mute, block, etc. Report if it's against the terms of service. But also, some people have said, "Oh, I went to defend you." While we so appreciate the desire to defend us, don't do that to yourselves. Don't
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
higher. And if you see us,
Protect your
if you
peace.
see us not responding, that's why.
There's a reason.
There's a reason. We made a conscious decision that number one, for our own personal well-being, we were not going to engage with people who speak to us without respect. And number two, based on having done it before, there is no point. There is
Yeah.
no point in arguing with somebody who doesn't want to change their mind.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, proof
Right.
positive. We had it in our own Discord. I mean, we had somebody come, question me in the Discord, and I was at work, so I couldn't respond. So Christina took that and was like, "Hey, I'm sure this sounds like a conversation you need to have with Stephanie privately. DM her. I'm sure she'd love to have a conversation." Did she
Well,
DM me?
it's
No.
fine, bye.
Yeah, she left.
She left the server. Just
So
left.
we wouldn't get into
Yeeted.
it with her. Yeah,
Self-yeeted, as we like to call it.
yeah, she self-evicted. Yeah.
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 Right.
Yeah.
And
Well-
yeah, so, go ahead.
Well, the thing is that I always want to give people a chance to change their minds if they want to have actual respectful discourse, because I do think as human beings, sometimes we don't have enough of that. And there's a lot of red versus blue team, that kind of nonsense that goes on, especially now. And I always want to give people the respect that we will give you if you come to us and ask questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the opportunity is always there. I mean, if that person would have chosen to, DM Steph respectfully and have a conversation, like maybe that would have done them some good.
Could have been
But
cleared.
yeah, but that was their choice.
Yeah.
And that
So-
sorry, go ahead, Doc.
So I think one thing to keep in mind when you watch our behavior on social media, when the hate starts rolling in and you want to defend us, which we love the fact that you want to do that, is one of the mottos we've had all along with this project from the very beginning is, what would Bangtan do? What would Bangtan do? And if you pay attention to the way these men have behaved and their company has behaved for the last 12 fucking years on social media, 13 really, because they were there before they came out. Anyways, they don't respond
Yeah.
to hate and negativity and people trying to goad them and people trying to use them for negative purposes and get their 15 minutes of fame. They will not respond on the social medias. What they will do is make a statement of fact occasionally. And that's what we do during lives so we'll use our live, make a statement of fact about the situation at hand, and we will not engage the negativity on the social medias. We will block, we will report, and that is all we will do to them, because that is how Bangtan behaves, and they are a great instructor and a great teacher on how to behave on social media.
Absolutely.
They write songs about it, but we're not going to do that.
I'm not
Because
that
we don't
good.
We don't have a secret of songwriting ability.
Well, and there's a lot of stuff, we like to move silently behind the scenes when there's issues, because we are also aware that we have a community that's main goal is to be a positive place for as many people as possible.
Yeah.
And
stand
so,
of accountability. That's what I wanted to talk about next.
Yeah.
Specifically our accountability.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, I think emphasizing kindness, I don't think there's enough of it in the world
No.
in general. There's not enough patience and grace and kindness that we give each other as human beings.
Yeah.
And I understand, I'm not naive. I know there's a lot of awful stuff out there. Right.
Yeah.
But I do think that leading with kindness has always worked for us and our own personalities, and what we feel is the important part about following Bangtan. Like Doc said, I mean, they are 7 wonderful human beings that I think are an example for just about every part of your life. That's why it's so much fun to be their fans, because
Yeah.
you just you know that they would emphasize kindness. And I just like to point out, she's changing her baby right now, but you know, Katie, when the Yoongi thing went down, my personal response was to go start reporting everything and join a group chat and really get on the front lines. Katie was like, let's raise $20,000 for UNICEF in 7 days.
Right.
Like, so her thing was to say, okay, all this negativity that people are putting out towards him, let's show them what Army can do. Let's show them the true spirit of Army, which is to come together and do something good and positive. And so I've always been really proud of us for the way that we react to things like that. Because I think that's very Bangtan coded.
I heard my name.
We were talking about the UNICEF thing.
Yeah, we were talking about the UNICEF thing.
Yeah.
And so
Sorry,
go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, like, that is because somebody, I can't remember who it was, but somebody asked in the comments, like, how can we respond to things like this? And through kindness. And like, we don't mean it in a hokey way. We don't mean that we sit around like tiptoeing through the tulips. Like there's nothing going on out there. Like, we don't believe in toxic positivity just as much as we don't believe in toxic negative toxicity. We don't believe in that. What we do believe in is, as Christina said, leading with kindness. Like, do we always feel kind? No, we don't always feel kind, but we always show people kindness. As long as they you know, they remain on that level with, and even that, if we don't like, if you respond to us with negativity and stupidity and hatefulness, we'll just ignore you. Like, we're not even gonna be mean. We're just gonna ignore you.
Despite the fact that we could push our algorithm way the fuck up if we did.
Yeah, we would have so much. Yeah, we would.
And that is how you can deal with people who post things like that or comment things like that. Don't even give it the time of day.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
You don't need to protect us. No worries. You don't need to protect us.
If you see it on if you see it on your own, just report it. Just report it and move it, block it, and then move on. That's the best way. And you can come and you can talk to us about it. You can talk to other Army and be like, guys, I saw this and it's really bothering me. And we can talk about it. Like, that's healthy, you know? That's what our community is for. That's what our Discord is for. We have a whole section in our Discord that's called Vent into the Void, where you can just come in and you can scream into the void and nobody can reply to you, but people can give you emojis. People can give you supportive emojis, you know? So people use that all the time. But our accountability, I think what you were talking about with us is like the kindness thing, and then our community. Like, we have very specific rules and guidelines for our community and how we allow people to act in our space. And it includes the highest thing is it includes respect, not only for the members of BTS, but also for every single person in that community. You have to have respect.
What's the rule?
Don't be an asshole.
Don't be an asshole.
Yep.
That's our rule. That's our biggest rule.
That is an actual rule.
Underneath, you have to be 18 is don't be an asshole.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Bye, Koya.
And the rest of the rules are basically variations on how not to be an asshole.
yeah, exactly.
Exactly
If you would just follow rule 2,
Don't
you
be
can
one
do it
specific.
right
Don't
away.
be one to us. Don't be one to yourself. Don't be one to Bangtan. Don't be one
pretend
to
to be Bangtan. You know, basically rules 3 through 8 in our server are ways, specific detailed ways on how not to be an asshole. If you just follow rule 2, you'd be good.
If we could police social media, we would.
It'd be great. It'd be
But
great.
you know
It'd be
what?
so much nicer.
That's why the Discord is such a nice place, is because
Yeah,
it's
we
the
can
best.
control
It's
that.
the best kind of social media because it's a safe place that's guarded very, very strictly for everybody's sake. So.
Yeah. And then aside from ignoring negativity, you can amplify things that are helpful, things that are kind. Like you can spread those posts, you can comment on those, you can like those, you can share those. When you see that out there, push that in the algorithm, like make that stuff trending. And that the more we have of that, the other people get drowned out. And then that becomes that turns the tide. Sometimes we go on platforms like the Bird app, and we're like Christina will sail and she'd be like, my timeline is nothing but roses today. So there's lots of times where it happens. We just got to make it a more, we just got to make it, we got to get to that point where it's like pretty much an all the time thing. And the other stuff is just like a blip on the radar. That's the dream.
Yeah, that is the dream. And listen, I feel for people who are saying it's getting negative. What I can say is that being on the social media now for many years, we kind of knew this was going to happen, because the people that don't want BTS to come back and be successful and for us to be loud and joyful about it are getting hella nervous. Because they got only just a little bit of time left before we all come back and celebrate the hell out of every single thing that they do. They're going to go on live for 2 seconds and we're going to be like, oh my God, did you see that? Oh my God. The joy is just going to be immense. And
I mean, if you look at how the timeline gets overtaken by everything they drop, every time we get a new Bangtan thing, whether it's Hobie going live or Jin going live or whatever, the timeline just becomes inundated. And the haters don't like that. They don't like that. They're trying to get us to stop it.
Yeah, they don't want that.
So last before we do our reminders and get out of here, because we've run really long.
Yeah, we have.
When idols say things like they call for kindness and they talk about being positive, spread that, like members of Bangtan have done it several times. Spread those messages and remind people in the fandom about that. And remember that they are often watching. Like idols have social media. They watch us all the time. They know. And so it can really affect them too when they see. I mean, I don't really want to. Never mind. I'm not going to mention it. Just know they're watching and they see their fans' behavior. We have seen recent evidence of idols being deeply affected by their fans' behavior and it hurting them. So keep that in mind. If the people on the internet aren't enough motivation for you, think about your bias being disappointed in you. Everyone except Christina.
I mean, Yoongi's already.
Listen, your disappointment kink has no place in this conversation, okay?
Okay. Thank you, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. Let's do our reminders and get out of here before Katie turns into a pumpkin.
Yeah. All right. So stream, chart, vote. We have an awesome Discord thread channel that has all the information across all the social medias where we want to get another trophy for Bangtan, as many as we can, because they deserve them all. So we have information on how to vote, playlists that we share about streaming. We've got a lot of really good people in there that show up on the daily to support us in that effort. So if you're joining the Discord, come hang out in streaming, charting, voting, and help us out. And I put usually the current goals on the website as well, so that we can all keep track of everything, because it's a lot. So,
JD, you want to do the next one if you could see it?
Sure.
Or Stephanie, if you want to.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was doing the playlist.
All right.
Discord and watch party.
Discord and watch parties.
Discord and watch party. Okay, hold on. Now I'm thrown off. Hold on.
You want to do the last one?
Scrolling down. Okay, Discord and watch parties. I got it. Okay. Speaking of a safe space,
yes,
join us in our Discord, you guys. It really is. We have the most amazing mods, and they work their butts off to make sure that this is a safe space for us. And it's someplace where you can kind of come together and fangirl, or really get into deeper discussions, hang out in our Bora lounge and just talk, like just chit chat, or what do the watch parties. We've got so many things to do. We have so many lives coming. We watch lives together. We watch new releases together. We have watch party. I mean, just so much going on. So join us there. And then, it's a great time. Safe
Yeah.
spaces are a beautiful thing.
They
Mm,
really are.
I'll say that.
they really are. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the biggest watch parties that we have every week is hosted by me, and it's our weekly content watch party where we talk about each week's blog, and I read the blog out loud. We watch content from it. We will be having a new blog drop tomorrow, sometime tomorrow. It's a fun surprise now.
Yeah.
Sometime
You know
tomorrow,
happens.
it will be dropping, and it will be week 71, week 3 of JK. And it is called
Okay.
And You Give Me Life.
I'm looking at all the videos right now as I'm adding them to the playlist.
Oh, it's devastating.
It's a joy.
Oh.
It's a joy.
You're welcome.
We will
You're
be
fucking
beginning
welcome.
our exploration of Golden next week.
Yeah, we are.
Golden.
So you guys are gonna want to
Mm-hmm.
be around for that. So come and join us.
I bought the white one, the white gold.
Oh, I got the blue one.
The cream
I have
gold.
the green and the blue.
I got the blue
I think
one.
that one was
because
really pretty.
blue is my favorite color. Well,
I don't
purple, blue and purple are my favorite colors. So,
Okay. Okay.
All
Fair
right, Doc, you're up.
all right. So, as I mentioned at the top of the live, we go live twice a week. We do Sundays here on YouTube for our Sunday deep dive. Sometimes it's a pretty hefty topic, like it was this week. And then on Wednesdays, we go live at 9 Eastern, 8 Central over on TikTok. So our next live will be, that date is wrong. It will be May 21st on TikTok at 9 Eastern, 8 Central. At Army Project 529 is our TikTok handle. So you're going to want to join us. That will be our midweek tea, where we are going to bring you all the member news from the week, which this week has been a lot for some of them. And we're going to talk about any nonsense and chaos that took place out here on Kim Nam June's internet.
Mhm.
So it's always fun. It's always fun. Some week tea.
Yeah.
So you want to join us for that?
Yeah.
We really
Thank
do
you.
need a jingle for that
We
One
do.
day.
one day.
One day. Thank you
Thanks
guys.
for hanging.
Yes.
We went extra long, but that's okay. We
But you
enjoyed
know
it.
what? It was a really good topic and it was important.
It was.
Yes.
We were
Right.
in it.
And the baby's good.
The
Baby's
baby's
good.
good, yeah.
Oh.
The hiccups.
Hiccups.
Oh man.
Jem's got the hiccups, everyone. And good thoughts.
Aw.
Send your non-hiccup thoughts to her. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out with us. We appreciate you spending your time with us. And we hope that, as always, this time you spent with us brightened your day and your week and, helped you enjoy your bontoning a little bit more. So
Yes.
we'll see you guys next time.
Right. Peace
Talk.
out, everybody.
Thank you guys.
Bye.
Bye. Hey, we love you.